GDPstrategy.com.
Hi, this is Chris again, looking at the upcoming trading session for Friday, July 25th, 2014. You can see that the economic calendar is a bit light in the beginning. The RBNZ business confidence numbers come out, and that's really the only thing in Asia. Probably not a market mover, simply because they have just had an interest rate announcement in New Zealand, which of course is much more important than one particular survey. When we do start to see the economic announcements pick up a little bit as far as importance is during the European trading session. The German consumer confidence numbers, of course, will be popular for traders to follow, as Germany is such a large part of the European economy. 8.9 is expected. That was the previous number. Not a market-moving event unless we miss, and that, of course, always has the ability to move the markets. If we get a stronger than anticipated number out of the European Union, the German number specifically, then we should see the DAX rise. The DAX could target 4,500 euros at that point in time. As we go through the day a little bit, we do have current assessment and some other things, business climate out of Germany. Really, this is one of those situations where unless something misses horribly, probably won't move the market. The first truly high-impact announcement that we have during the day would be the British GDP numbers, as you can see here. Year over year tends to move the market a bit more, and 3.1% is what is anticipated. 3% was what we got last time, and interestingly enough, we have the British pound sitting at the 170 level in that region, which should be massively supportive. There is support all the way down to the 1.69 handle, so this number here could be the catalyst for the bounce, the continuation of the longer-term uptrend that we have seen over the last several months. This could be a market-moving event in the fact that the FTSE looks like it's ready to break higher again, perhaps trying to get to 6,900, but the real action might be in the pound against the US dollar. Pay attention to this. This could be the biggest market-moving event of the day. However, we also would be remiss if we didn't talk about durable goods in the United States. It's expected at 0.4%. Previously, it was put out at negative 0.9. It's a revised number. And the thing is this tends to have an effect on the U.S. Indices more than anything else, not necessarily the currency markets. But it's interesting because the U.S. indices, out of all of the stock markets that I follow, without a doubt look the strongest and the most interesting. You have the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, and the S&P 500 all sitting just under massive resistance barriers. This could be, if it's a stronger than anticipated number, could be the reason why the S&P finally breaks above the often cited 2,000 resistance barrier. Close above that could send us into a leg much higher. Above 2,000, the S&P gets really interesting for long-term trades, not only short-term trades. So the durable goods orders, have the ability to move the markets. We will see what comes out of it. If it comes in, as expected, probably at that point in time, the trading session probably fizzes out like you will often see when just the Americans are around in the afternoon, unless, of course, there is some type of market-moving event. These two, without a doubt, though, are the ones that I'm watching most closely during the day. As I mentioned previously, the S&P 500 is one of the indices that certainly seems to be at an interesting place. We are just a bit underneath the 2,000 level. Probably won't get above there during the Friday session, but that durable goods orders number could be big enough to move it. If we get above 2,000, this market has broken above a significant barrier at that point and should be very strong. However, a pullback should continue to find buyers as we simply grind higher. This is a market that I do believe breaks out eventually. We're in a nice uptrend, we're in a nice channel. So buying on the dips is certainly a good strategy, buying calls as we drop. Above 2,000, things get very interesting for the long term. It frees us up to go to the next leg higher. The FTSE, as you can see, initially fell during the day. on Thursday, found enough support to turn things back around and form a pretty positive candle. I still see a significant barrier at 6,900, but it appears that we are in fact going to try to go there. Given enough momentum, it will happen. Probably not going to happen in the next couple of sessions, but certainly anytime that this market falls, the buyers should come in and lift it up. That's what we've seen the last several sessions in a row. We had an impulsive candle, a back and forth candle that shot itself back up, and then again during the session here on Thursday. So really nothing to suggest that the market isn't going to continue trying to go higher. Looking at the pound dollar, this is the truly interesting market for me outside of the US indices, as I stated before. With the GDP numbers coming out of the UK, this is going to have a massive effect on what the pound does. Notice the clustering here right at about 170. We did bounce a little bit towards the end of the day, so the question then is do we have enough support, which I suspect goes all the way down to 169 to make the market bounce and continue the uptrend. You could even, at this point in time, make a little bit of an argument for the possibility of an uptrend line coming into play, and I believe that a stronger than anticipated GDP number would be enough to send us back up in this particular currency pair. And finally, in the euro dollar, you can see that we went back and forth during the session, really not deciding much, but the one thing that I would point out is that what was once support at 135 did offer a bit of resistance. So I think we are going to drop to 133. Probably a very difficult market to deal with on a Friday. Rally should be selling opportunities, but truthfully probably going to continue to be very choppy. Maybe look for a setup near the 135 level for next week. And with that, that has been a look at the Friday, July 25th trading session.